What's up, guys? It's Corbman. I'm here to show you how to mod game types. Now, you might have seen a tutorial before, but this one is unique. It actually has new content that I have not seen before, at least on the internet. Alright, now let's go check it out. Alright, so how this video is going to work is I'm going to show you some of the coolest fucking mods ever. Basically, after I show you everything, I'll teach you how to do it if you really want. But the first thing is the Zap Cannon. It's my favorite mod. That's the Zap Cannon. Oh yeah. Alright, this next weapon is the Target Designator. You might have seen it in my Godzilla or Godzilla side video. Pretty badass. Here we go. We got big Spartans. Pretty fun to play with. We look hilarious in Banshees. We got little Spartans. It's hard to see them here because you can force pestilence with a mod. You can, obviously I'm just invisible here. Right here we got forced colors. Obviously I forced them to be purple. Alright, next up we got the Flood Talon. Actually, that's not in the video. We got the Magnum. You can also use the Flood Talon without being a flood, but I forgot to include that.
Oh my god. Figure that super fucking knockback online. Yeah, that's a real mod right there, Corbin.
Now you're probably pretty confused about all this launching you've been seeing. Basically, that's just been leading up to what I'm about to show you. Right here, well, ignore the jetpack. That just helps me boost up a little bit higher. But right here, we got super jumps. Even more super than what the game allows. Next, we got, like, no gravity at all. And this almost allows me to emulate a no-clip or a UFO effect. But unfortunately, it's actually not. Alright, and now we can have no weapons. But in this game, when you have no weapons, it typically makes you stay in a static position when you walk, as you can kind of see in this video. But either ways, at least it's funny. And now I saved the best for last. Using the gravity and some speed, I'm able to propel myself with the thruster wherever I want out of the map. It's pretty fun. I'm about to show you some examples of what you can do with this mod. I hope you enjoy, and after these clips, you'll have the tutorial.
Suicide.
Okay, now we're about to start the tutorial. Before we start, I'll let you know that I'll be showing you how to do a couple things that I didn't show you in this video earlier. That includes disabling sprint, how to force flood in Slayer, and how to force leader traits like in Godzilla or Godzilla side. First off, you're going to want to open your GameType save. Alright, now what you do is go down to D400. After that, you're going to look for 01 FB 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 FA. The 01 there is simply something that triggers whether you spawn with the game loadouts or your forced loadouts here. The first two FBs are your primary and secondary weapon. You can replace those FBs with one of the numbers I have in the gun list code, or the gun code list. And after that, you can replace it with any weapon you like, including ones that are not typically in the game. As you can see here, I replaced the two first FBs with 43 and 75. 43 is the Zap Cannon, or whatever you want to call it, and 75 is the Incineration Cannon. Basically, if you want to have no weapons, put in a digit higher than 75 in hexadecimals, and you'll have no weapons. Or just look on the list and look at one of the unused weapons, and it'll have the same effect. The 2 zeros you see right here hold the traits for speed, jump height, and gravity. Alright, now this is a little tricky because when you edit this value, you actually have to insert values. You can't simply just type them in. So for a jump height, for example, 60 represents the jump height and B840 represents the value for the jump height. Now what you gotta do is you gotta insert that value. Alright, you can't just type it in. So once you insert it, you're gonna have to scroll down to the bottom of the save and delete what you just added to the save so it works. Here's what it will look like at the bottom of the save when you add something to it. You'll have the extra zeros hanging out, and what you're going to do is just simply delete them. This will allow the file size to remain the same. Now that you understand that, I will teach you how to do zero gravity. Now gravity, the trigger for that is C0. After that, you'll type in 0, 0, 0, 0. That'll make gravity set to be 0. And after you insert that, remember, you don't just type it in there because there's not enough room for it. You insert it and then go to the bottom of the file and delete the extra zeros. And this also works the same for speed. Just type in 80, which is the trigger for speed, or 81 depending on how high you go, and then you just type in the value that you want your speed to be set to. The next thing I'm going to show you is sprint. Now you're going to go to the middle 0, 0 and type in 20. And if you do it like shown here, you'll disable sprint. Okay, now your favorite. I'm going to show you how to do the size of the Spartan. Basically, in the third set of zeros, you're going to edit that to 60 and then any value. So once you insert the 60, you're going to type in FF after it for a large Spartan. If you want a small Spartan, you're going to type in a low value like 1111. It doesn't matter what you type in, but the higher the value, the larger the Spartan will be, and the lower the value, the smaller the Spartan will be. Now after all of that is your force color that your Spartan will wear. Now you can change these values to typically anything you want, but if you want to get something specific, you're going to have to look up what values equal what. Now at the very end of the base player traits, we have what we can edit to force ourselves to become a flood in Slayer or Regicide. Now what you're going to do is change the values here to the values here. It's the same length, so all you have to do is write it over it. You do not have to insert it this time. Now to edit the leader trait specifically, you're going to scroll down a little bit until you see another set that's like the same as above that says 01 FB 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 FA 00000, etc. So after you find that below the previous one, you just simply edit the same way as you edited the one before. Now after you're done editing your file, you're going to save it, make sure it's the same size as it was before. You're going to run it through Sunburst right here, and then you're going to rehash and resign it to Modio and put it back on your hard drive or your USB stick. And guess what, guys? There's more mods to come through campaign and game types. And maybe soon you won't need Sunburst to rehash those files, and maybe you won't have to hex edit them yourself. Stay tuned and see what happens.